What? Pretty dog stand.
Did he come? No.
I think he's left.
Whoa, Johnny, oh, let me go.
You made it without.
Right there.
What, Sherman? Over there. Johnny, over there. Tiffany, over here.
We can shoot it that way and get that mountain behind.
Oh, yeah. That's
good. That way.
Angela, Steven, come here.
Over here.
Hey, Donna. Is one of them Aunt Marcia? No.
Every year, you know? Oh, man. All right, let's go in my car. Come on, let's go. Dad, you better drive. All right, here we are, Mabel. Come on, let's go see if she recognizes you. Okay, you get behind me. All right, I'll go behind. Trick or treat! The treats are all gone. Well, that's okay. I'll just take you to salami here. Let's go. Come on. Back to the car. You're holding that water? She said, aren't you a little old to be trick-or-treating? All right, here we are. Come on. That was great. I loved it. Oh, Helen!
Oh, you gonna love me, my Aunt Anna. Here before, Mel.
Mike, right at the top there. Mike, over there. Right there. Start again.
There you go.
My goodness, I've got 30 people coming for dinner tomorrow. I just got 8 tubs of cookies up in the back of my closet. Wonder what I'll cook. Hey, Grandma, look what I found. Oh, my memory suitcase. Let's take a look and see what's inside, kid. Oh, Teresa, stand up and show us what you have found. Oh, the mice costume. Well, in our household, my parents had 4 children, and then they started having mice, according to Aunt Lou. Oh, that's the underwear I took off the line when it was 40 below. Then we had underwear for 3 people instead of 1. Oh, that's the picture we used to dip out the water out of the bathtub to flush the toilet. We don't want to waste any water. Which reminds me, Albert, there's still too much of the water in the tub. Why don't you run in and take a quick bath while it's still warm? Oh, that's the thunder mud cover. That's the thing that you should always take when Dawn is having a party and you want to stay with Derek.
Thunder mud cover when you Alana's having a party, you want to get time to get them.
Ew, Grandma, this smells like feet.
Beef pulp? Why, that's the church elders with pipes in the end. Aunt Lou said, love may be blind, but hell, I didn't know it could smell.
Mom, I just
about, Mom. One time, the first year or the second year after we moved to Kennewick, we're all home from college, and Christmas morning, we're just getting ready to open up our Christmas presents, and here came a girl knocking at the door, and she apparently had been kicked out or something from her home, and she didn't have anywhere to go. So Mother quickly hustled some of the presents out from under the tree and went in the bedroom and named them for this girl, and then we shared the Christmas with her, and then about 3 years later, Mother was at a doctor's office, and he said, well, you don't know me, but I know you. You made Christmas for my daughter a couple of years ago.
When I got home from my mission, I found this beautiful blonde that I was really quite serious about. And, you can't marry a non-member, so I told Mom to see what she could do. Well, Mom brought this girl home and taught her the gospel. Her name was Shirley.
When John Vivian was about 8 years old, he and his friend Alice Steed listened carefully to their Sunday school teacher. She gave a lesson on baptism. They learned that baptism was one of the first principles and ordinances of the gospel, and that the proper way to be baptized was by immersion. They listened attentively and remembered the lesson. At that time, Grandma and Grandpa Johansen lived in a home in Wolford near Rush Lake. Knowing that the sow had had a litter of piglets, and remembering the lesson on baptism, John Vivian and Alice Steed decided it was necessary for the piglets to be saved, and decided to perfect their baptismal skills. For the land and fortress went with speed, John Vivian and Alice Steed. By immersion they say is the only proper way to baptize the pigs and save their souls today. All of the pigs were baptized by immersion. Some various times. Several did not survive the ordeal.
Get ready for their day. Scene 2.
Richard, get back in here.
he said, you know they're boys.
Look, you're telling me, what about the law?
Now there's these are the boys from Kimball. I can't hear. What did you say? Hello? Glad to see you. Please notice the wooden shoes. We've got to fix those guys at dinner. They'll never forget. Now, I want you to set the table. Use the best. Put it right side out. Use the best tablecloth and the best china and the linen napkins, and let's really get to work to make this really nice. Hello, we're back. Oh, good. You're just in time for dinner. Let's get up to the table. And Grandma proceeds to teach them how to be polite at a classy dinner. That's it. They're ready. And show her the orange ball.
I want to apologize for not having anything for Uncle Swen. But there's nobody that can tell a story like Uncle Swen. And my wife leaned over and said, just tell them they're all extra restricted if you want to hear about them, come back at 11 o'clock. I'd like to have Swen and Alice stand up back there if they would. Stand up back. I was just going to tell you, I wanted you to applaud them because they are two super great people. And that's all I have. I'm a better man for having been called to speak and scared the devil out of me.
Some people are never satisfied. Did you know that when Grandma Peterson was expecting his fifth child, he was so anxious for a boy, he talked to the midwife and he talked to his wife. It was a girl. But the midwife said, I'll do the best I can. And the birth certificate says she's a boy.
So Nancy wanted a girl so much after she found Donna to be so much fun that she talked to the midwife and she talked to her husband and she had Ray. So she did the next best thing and dressed him in curls and dresses till he was 5.
As a boy, he was once asked, who gave him a black eye? He replied, nobody gave it to me. I had to fight like hell for it.
Ray was the youngest of 3 brothers, and he was always getting into trouble teasing the older 2 brothers. Fortunately, Ray was a very fast runner, and he could usually outrun Swen and John. He would start running, and they would get on a horse. Ray fortunately would crawl under the fences and be able to get away, except when Swen got on one side of the fence and John got on the other side of the fence. They caught him in the middle on their horses. When Ray was a teenager, he went into Carson for their field day, and he won every event that there was to win. He got the aggregate prize and came home with the cup. When he showed Grandma Nellie the cup, she said, how on earth did you win this? You've never trained it. And Swen answered, hell, what do you think I've been doing to him all these years?
The only guy in the place knows what he's doing.
Ray steered Johansen had found a girl that she wanted Ray to marry, and Ray wanted no part of it. But he ended up going down to Utah with John, and he did meet Bessie, and he decided that she was all right. And he took Bessie to meet a girlfriend named Ruth, who had moved from Canada to Utah. Now, Bessie didn't like competition, so she borrowed Amelia's engagement ring, put it on her finger, and met Ray's former girlfriend.
If you don't make house calls, you'll never get results. 6 children, 37 grandchildren, and 4 great-grandchildren.
Wisdom from the wallet of Ray W. Johansen. A little while ago, the contents of Ray's wallet got together and looked up in reverence at the picture of the horse Daisy on the wall. One time, Ray went down to the Hurite pasture to collect a foal that was bothering the cows. Daisy was a good cow horse, took after the bull, over and up the canal bank 12 feet high. Daisy went off, and so did Ray Johansen. Many people recognize the bull, many people control the bull, but recognition of someone who is preeminent in collecting the bull, they recognize Daisy as president.
Rated G. That does not stand for go. We're at Aunt Lou's cabin, which, despite its proximity to the Northland Lodge, has been known for a few quiet and romantic moments. Here comes Spirit and Pearl now for their nuptial night.
Spirit! Aren't you going to carry your most precious possession over the threshold?
I almost forgot! Where's the small talk stage?
Well, here we are.
We're here, dear. We're here.
This is my Aunt Lou's cabin.
Yes, dear. It's Lou's cabin.
Are you hungry?
Sorta, dear.
I made some good cheese sandwiches.
From our research, the small talk stage took 2 hours and 38 minutes. However, we only have 5 minutes, so we need to move to the next stage.
Well, I guess it's time to go to bed.
I'll go in the other room.
Okay.
Oh, you're beautiful. I love the feel. I can't wait to get started.
How about tomorrow?
First thing in the morning.
We got the late gift on and how
You got so many clothes on.
I'm cold.
Well, let's open the, here's one from Mother Lambert.
Oh, my. Oh, how nice. The joys of keeping a clean home.
And one from Aunt Lou. Marriage, what a hell of a way to go.
The next gift, Anna and Nellie had spent hours fixing a pair of pajamas for Sarah.
so nice of your sisters. Oh, I like these better my mom gave me because they have feet in them.
Oh, I'd like to color on you, but they're nice.
They've been sewn together. The legs been sewn together. I can't get them on.
Well, there's nothing to do. I'll have to unpick them. You can't go to bed without them on.
Certainly not.
After the electricity went off an hour later.
Well, you know, we can't see each other anyway.
It doesn't matter. Right things are right. You can't go to bed without your pajamas on.
An hour later.
Well, we finally got the pajamas.
Unbeknownst to them, Nellie, Bill, and Grandma Johansen had prepared another wedding surprise.
Ow! Oh! That's a fork! That's a knife! Your family!
The Lambert children are pleased to announce the 7 kids evidence that they finally figured out what was going on. The honeymoon was a success.
Some of you didn't know Grandma Johansen, but she could be quite a character. One day we had a hired man, and he didn't like, he came in, and of course there was much on the table, lots of rolled oats. He shoved it aside, and he said, "Hoops for the horse." Mother said, "Just as good for a jackass. Go ahead and eat it." Well, there was another one. And in-law had just got out of the army, and he came out to Woodford to teach. He thought that learning to march into the schoolhouse in line, in rhythm, and everything was the most important thing, and to be on time. Well, Gwen and Donna come in late one day, so Ed sent them home. Kind of a cold day. And so that night there was a party up at the schoolhouse. We didn't have a church or anything, and Mother marched up to Ed and she said, "I've heard of fools and damn fools, and after that you come."
The story about Mother taking her on her sister Mary was really efficient. You know, I was at Mother's house one time, and I think...
Get in on the stage. Get the microphone.
And there was a microphone at the end. I was at Mother's house one night, and Aunt Vivian was there. And Mother would say, "Oh, Vivian, I've got the nicest in-laws. Oh, I love my in-laws. You know, I couldn't be happier if I chose them myself." And Aunt Vivian says, "And who says you do?"
While our accountants worked feverishly, Mabel, do you have any...
Well, me and Slim won't come up here, and Jim didn't get a skit for him. I'll tell you one. He was bashing down the road to peace. He hadn't been home for a while. He didn't know that we were expecting the premier of the prophet to come stay there at our place for the night. And Adonis' room was the lawn room upstairs. And whenever we had guests, they were put in there, and Donna moved in with the rest of us. And so Gwen loved to get up in the morning, and she'd go in and go like that, and hit Donna right on the nose. So he happened to come home that night. The next morning he got up, and and he went in there, you know, getting light in the morning. He walked over, he leaned over, took a good aim, and hit Brownlee right smack on the nose. And he saw this man turn over, and he took out there, got out, got on his horse, and let him go again. And then there was another time, are they ready yet? And then there was another time. You know, Burl was so modest. She did not recognize the fact that people had to go to the bathroom. And right as you pulled into the yard, the car light shined right into the toilet, and the door was always open. And this embarrassed Burl today. So she decided that we had to move the outhouse over into the tree. Well, we figured it'd be an easy job. But Dad had it attached to 4 posts right in the ground. So it was never tipped over on Halloween. So we finally got those out. Then we tipped it over and thought, oh, it'll be easy to move. Didn't move. So we got a horse tied a lariat around it. Thought it'd roll right along. No way. Wouldn't move. So we get under it with our backs, under this, and lift up. And the 2 younger kids had put poles under the toilet. And we drove it until they came off, and then we started it. So it took us all afternoon. Well, Swan came home again that night. The next morning, he came down the stairs, headed down the path. Just before he got to the crucial spot, he noticed it wasn't there, and he turned and ran for the barn, and he came back. Well, where in hell did you put the damn thing? Anybody else got anything to say to the judges count? Oh, you know, Mavis and I used to fight like this. We didn't have anything else to do, we started to fight. And so one day Mother got sick and tired of this bickering and fighting, and she came with a good big willow for each one of them. She said, all right, now go ahead and fight. Now hit each other. You know, it was no fun at all. That both stopped us from fighting. Anybody else got what? Oh, yeah. Well, there was this other guy lived down in Spring Coulee, and his wife used some high-tech gas to do a little cleaning. And once she got through with the gas, she didn't know what to do with it, so she took it out, poured it down the outhouse hole. So the guy came out there for his evening retreat. After release, he sat there and let his pipe drop the nuts down the other hole. Well, he was in the hospital for quite a while. With third-degree burns. And they said, well, what happened? He said, I don't know, it must have been something like that.
I'd like to just tell a story on your husband, Johansen. He was very enthused about the organization of farmers. He was very instrumental in the organization of the United Farmers of Alberta with the wheat bowl. And he traveled all over Alberta. soliciting memberships in the wheat pool. He was up in Hannah on a Sunday, away from home, and it was lonesome. He didn't have anything to do. So he's walking down the street and he noticed that there was a funeral in progress. So he thought he'd just attend the funeral. And he went into the funeral, and the preacher had given his sermon, and he said, "Now, is there anybody here who would like to say something about our dearly departed?" And nobody got up. And there was silence for a while, and finally John Johansen couldn't stand any longer. He got up and he said, "If nobody wants to say anything about the dearly departed, I'd like to put in a word for the Alberta wheat pool."
How are our scores coming?
Next time I took her, she cut the string down.